We got the director right there. Can see over here, the door is open. Matilda is still up here creeping over everybody. Raw metal. Okay guys, we're back at Universal Studios Florida. It's time for another Halloween Horror Nights 2026 update. The next original house just got announced. We got to talk about what the creative said. We got new truss, new construction updates. And then also we're gonna be going to the Lakeland Antique Mall. I wanna go hunting for some HHN collectibles, see if I can find anything out there. So on that note, it's time to talk about the Halloween Horror Nights shirt of the day. We're gonna go back to HHN 2025. We had Fallout last year. So on that note, let's roll the commercial.
Good evening, citizen. If you're just tuning in, you're in for a treat. Our friends at Vault-Tec are showcasing a revolutionary new experience, unlike anything you've seen before. Don't take it from us. Hear it straight from one of our special volunteers.
Live the horror you love to watch at Universal Halloween Horror Nights, featuring Fallout and more.
Okay, welcome back. Let's head in. Let's see what's new inside the park. Just got into the park and see some new truss. It's a Thursday, so a little Truss Thursday happening. Over here by Despicable Me, Minion Mayhem, the truss has appeared. So this is normally where they kind of had the wait times and watch houses and kind of the directional arrows of what's back here. So it looks like we will be entering in this way again to get back to the sound stages, kind of like how it was set up in the years past. But the truss has appeared, nothing attached to it yet. No lights, no TVs, no cords, but just the truss. Raw metal. Does look like above the Wicked store they have a dark purple light. Looks like they have a black light that's on right there, or a black light filter on that light right there. All right, looks like we got 10 minutes till the next original house gets announced. So in the meantime, let's pop into the Brown Derby, see if there's any new discounted merch in there. Into the Brown Derby we go. We did get like a new pocket tee for the Curse of the Werewolf attraction, Dark Universe. There is a new button up that's from the Wizarding World, and then on the back, Elixir of Life, the Crystal Ball. So that just popped up inside the store. And then those little shoulder plushes, these are park exclusive for the new Super Mario Galaxy movie. They're here now in the shop. We got some new Jurassic World signage. They even have the most ugliest dinosaur ever created in the Jurassic franchise. You can see Gru walking by. He's got a bald cap on, but nothing new with the truss here. And nothing new with the truss there. It has been announced, not the one that I wanted to be announced today, but they announced this one. So let's go over it real quick. This is what they had to say. So they just announced Cybergoria. Awaken thousands of years in the future in this haunted house and brave a cold world driven by machines with a singular goal to make you live forever, even if it kills you. Here's gonna be the promotional image. Now we're gonna brighten it up. We can see the human skull underneath, the metal skull, and then also the human mouth and nose. So it's kind of like a Cyborgs and Terminator kind of a house.
Cybergoria. Am I saying that right?
Tomorrow's original house. I'm really excited for. All right, so with the truss here, right? We got the lights pointing down at the scare zone, but there's these two lights that are just pointed directly at each other. So it looks like it'll make the truss kind of illuminate. So they'll cover it with something and then it'll glow with the lights pointing at each other right there. There was an article that was released kind of talking about in depth about what's happening kind of within the house. We'll go over that a little later in the video, but there are some tweets we got to go over first. So Ramon tweeted out this, and another one. Matt Flood, David Hughes, and everyone else involved in bringing this original house to life have crafted a truly unsettling experience. It's gonna be awesome. HHN 35. And then nothing new with any of our lights, the stage, nothing's going on yet. Are we going to be excited with what we find over by the Sprung tents or disappointed? All right, let's see what's going on. Nothing new with the fence. The wood is still out there right now. Oh, they're coming out. They're coming out of the tent right there. So they are working on stuff. You can see over here, the door is open. All we can see is just kind of the distressed wood. And then in the dumpster, anything interesting been thrown out? Say they got a new DeWalt something. They're working in there, but nothing going on outside. Is this always like this on top of the Fear Factor stage roof? Looks like they opened the panel to get on the roof. of the building. That's normally not like that, I believe. Okay, so before we go over the article with the in-depth stuff and see what's going on at the nighttime show over there, let's do a little mini vlog of going to the Lakeland Antique Mall, hunting for some classic Universal collectibles. We gotta go to the Lakeland Antique Mall. We're gonna be shopping for some of the rarest HHN collectibles around. You never know where you're gonna find it here. They got crazy Disney stuff, crazy Universal stuff, and most importantly, HHN stuff. Into the Antique Mall we go. Adventure awaits. What will you find? When you think you've seen it all, you get surprised in life. They have a military rocket for over $2,000. That's, who needs this? How did they get this? How do you just have a military rocket to sell? I have many questions. Right here we got 1950 Peter Pan peanut butter store display. This thing was uncovered in Kentucky. $4,500. You can have your very own massive Peter Pan. All the Universal stuff is in the back of the store, but sprinkled throughout all the booths you'll find Universal and Disney stuff. Got John Wayne here guarding the general store. You can buy a mummified fetal piglet, only here at Lakeland. Oh, pair of taxidermy rabbits engaged in you know what they're doing. That's literally what it says. And then next to them is a creepy and naked ventriloquist dummy. What do we got down here? God, look at this little haunted Chucky doll. Thing is terrifying. They got Ernie the Keebler elf for $400, the costume head. But this is going to be a giant hamburger from Bob's Big Boy, $700. Creepy doll, cracked head, canvas print. Who's going to put this in their house? What's going on with this giant Snickers bar? What's an advertisement bar? It's like plastic. It looks like a light would probably go in there and it would illuminate. 110 bucks, it's not too bad. We've made it to the land of Universal and Disney. Now this is pretty much half of Lakeland Antique Mall. It's all the classic Universal stuff. You missed out on the Gimp Suit Minion. They got the Gimp Suit Minion here, the Dark Universe headbands, little Hamikuma popcorn buckets. They got Art the Clown popcorn buckets back there. Dark Universe bucket hats, the sorting hats. Here's a little Tim backpacks from Minions. We're gonna have the Wizarding World backpack, Epic Universe bags, Dark Universe vanity plates next to Mel's Dying bags. You just gotta kind of like uncover all the different stuff that they have here. Captain America bags from Universal. You got the T-Rex cups, the Frankenstein's Monster Sipper, How to Train Your Dragon wall displays, Studio Screamer lanyards. We got Chucky bucket hats. All the Death Eaters are about to be coming after the Weasleys. They got all the different Potter plushes. The frogs. Matilda is still up here creeping over everybody. And then here's a lot of the vintage Universal stuff. They have sealed the boxes of Studio Screamers. I wish we had Studio Screamers, honestly, instead of the minis. And then we got the VHS tape of Universal Studios Florida. Experience the magic of the movies. We got a T2 3D action figure. Here's some of the Studio Screamers that have been unboxed. You're gonna have the vinyl HHN figure of Elle and the Demigorgon, the Haunted Hollow Hills hat. This is from the Tribute Store. Zombie Nation HHN 2013. This is from the Christmas Tribute Store, where they were kind of teasing that upcoming summer Tribute Store. You have ET ship right there. Then they have the DeLorean. This is from the HHN Tribute Store from last year inside the Mummy gift shop. We got some T2 3D mugs. We got the classic Jaws plastic cup, the vintage Jurassic Park ties, a T2 3D shirt, and then the sippers. They got T2 3D sippers. I think these are from Mardi Gras. And then there's some vintage maps down there that are signed by the voice of Optimus Prime right there. You got an HHN 30 map, Bloody Mary display, some magnets if you missed out with Jack right there. One of the little prizes. They could win all the different magnets from last year. Got an RIP badge, Universal Studios DeLorean patch, Universal Orlando security patch, Dueling Dragons mug right there, some Halloween Horror Nights stickers, and just so many maps. We got a City Walk map from 2009, HHN 2000 Jack shot glass. We got some more Jack maps back there. Then they have the media badges from the 90s, and they have some of The Walking Dead, and then even Sweet 16. That's a cool one. back there. We have some of the scare actor patches. These are only given out to scare actors who work HHN. There's no other way to get them. Some Horror Unleashed coasters, some Islands of Adventure unused stickers, 2009 ripped from the Silverstream Burger King bag. Then you get the blueprints for one of the flowers for the ET Adventure. And if you missed out on the Hard Rock Cafe hat, 80 bucks. These things are all numbered. A vintage Texas Chainsaw Massacre sign. It's like one of the directional signs. And then all the different art prints. Eternal Bloodlines right there. 30 years. 30 fears. Oh, Crypt TV, you will not be missed. We got some Stranger Things HHN 2018 stuff. Stranger Things 4, Never Go Alone posters. Here's the whole house list with the gargoyle right there. We got the canvases. They're $250 each. These were sold in the park. We got the director right there, and then the usher. We got the Sinister and Surreal hat. Some Studio Screamer glasses, Frankenstein's monster on a mug. We got the Little Boo sippers. They got tons of Little Boo sippers. And then we got all the different glasses. We got Art the Clown right there. Beetlejuice, the Pumpkin Lord, and we have the Art the Clown shot glass set, the Frankenstein vinyl figure, HHN 2022 frames, Frozen Empire coasters, some Blinky cups, RIP Blinky cups, some crossbody bags of Sinister and Surreal, and we got some little buttons right here, the Universal Monsters from HHN, Studio Screamer pin set. We got some Little Boo socks. Again, you just never know what you're gonna find. There's some Jurassic Park maps. Here's a distressed one, and then here's like a new version. Good Guy HHN sign. Got some Lady Luck advertisements, and then down here we got a vintage HHN 25 shirt. It's crazy. It's been 10 years now. And then here's the Reflections of Fear. Buy tickets now. Pop-up display. So you see Bloody Mary kind of looking at you right there. Eddie's guitar, the zipper from Stranger Things. And we have some more of the display cubes. So we saw that one for Reflections of Fear, and they got one for Rip from the Silver Screen, and then 20 Years of Fear right there. You could see the lantern, and then they got Lady Luck right there. Get some coasters from Exorcist Believer or Stranger Things 4, Little Boo headbands, and they got some vintage HHN shirts. So HHN 25, HHN 2023, the Distress shirt. So Vampire Legion for HHN 22. This was the UOAP shirt. We got the HHN Beetlejuice shirt. Here's a Universal Creative polo. Got the Universal kind of splatter. I wonder if this is back from the 90s when they had Nickelodeon. Got the UAP shirt from last year. Was not a fan of the font that they chose down there to add Universal Orlando Resort. Just does not blend in with the aesthetic of the shirt. A tank top from HHN 2024. Here's an opening shirt for the Wizarding World of Harry Potter. Then on the back, Universal Studios Hollywood. They got the Zippo Putty HHN 25 right there. Then you got Jack with the saw blade. What do we got in this display case? We got the Stranger Things First Shadow exclusive program. Final season's terrible, but the show was great. We got the concept drawing for the Back to the Future ride. All hand drawn. It's all the concept drawing you can pick up. They got some replicas of the Barbasol can, the night vision goggles, John Hammond's cane. These are all just replicas from the Lost World. Look at this massive statue. This is from the Mardi Gras tribute store from this year. Before you walked into the kind of kitchen scene, well, here's some signs from the Mardi Gras tribute store from this year. HHN 24 shirt. It's in a little display case. You got Reggie back there from the Scarecrow Hunt. I wish they still did those. And this is from the T2 3D attraction, which is no longer there. We got the Velociraptor holding Buzz Lightyear. We got some more signs down here. There's so much. We got the eyeball. This is from the Alhazi Boutique. You got the gargoyle right there, HHN 2025. Earl the Squirrel's Tree Farm. You want a photo pass cast member costume? They got that. So if you're no longer a cast member or want to pick up an old memory, they have cast member costumes here. Into the Haunted Mansion section we go. We got all the different gravestones for Halloween. If you want to pick those up, they got plushes. They got sippers. This is from the Haunted Mansion overlay in Disneyland. This is one of the original blueprints. $900 for that. It's one of the original prop Astro Blaster balls from Disney Quest. $125. From Galaxy's Edge, the Build Saber Tray. Mickey's Toy Shop. Tomorrowland Speedway Tire. Here's another Club 33 Tiki, but of Walt. Kilimanjaro Safari's belt buckle. Free playset from the movie Bug's Life. They got a Grand Floridian lamp right here with Mickey looking nice and dapper. Then they got one of Minnie right there. The popcorn buckets of Figment. These are lamps from the Polynesian. I think they might have a rat problem here at Lakeland Antique Mall. There's a couple little Remy's hanging upside down. They're chilling with the porgs. These little guys just came out in the park. Now they're here. It's like the Dino Land USA prizes. Got all the Little Boo scarecrows. Let the good times roll. And they have a Little Boo sipper conveyor belt that's resetting. They have a carpet from All-Star Resort. If you want one of those. Here's the Royal Room headboard, $1,500. It like illuminates. Here's a Pirates of the Caribbean mirror. You can see the little gold medallions right there. $150. You can pick up a Caribbean Beach puffer fish. Here's a map of all of Universal Studios. You got Dragon Challenge right there, back when Sinbad was there. Then you got Flight of the Hippogriff, Blue Man Group stage, that's now gone. Revenge of the Mummy, Disaster, Fear Factor Live. Then they have all the different resorts. So $1,500, I got this like vintage Universal map. We got the vintage arcade units, $2,000. You can pick up the Fear to the Max Halloween Horror Nights arcade unit with Frankenstein's monster creeping on the side right there. The Dead Coconut. Got some more HHN signs. Character Dining, Universal. Bring back Character Dining. HHN medallion next to the penguin and Catwoman. We got like the store displays with the stained glass from HHN, and then back here, kind of hidden, they got the Tribute Store sign. Tribute Store stuff everywhere. All the banners, that's from Al-Hazi Boutique. Those little banners right there with the sign, RIP Al-Hazi Boutique. The Barons sign from the Mardi Gras Tribute Store. This is really cool. This is a costume. Got the performer wore when she was playing Lucy at Universal Studios. They have the original Universal costume. The HHN 30 Never Go Alone sign. We got some signs from Rip Ride Rocket right there. This is from the Mardi Gras Tribute Store from 2 years ago. Got the Tribute Store sign. You got Slimer off to the side. You got the Revenge of the Dead Coconut Club. Here's an actual human skull you can pick up for $3,000. From the repository, they got the Legendary Truth Access Badge. This is cool. They got the Hidden Mickey table from the Treehouse Villas. Come one, come all. You got Jack the Clown right there. Prove your power. Games of skill and chance. A little snowman and Woody hanging out over here. Looks like he's on a Survivor Challenge right now, trying to get across the obstacle course. What the heck is this thing? A vintage medieval knight Pirates of the Caribbean cast costume. $3,000 right there. It is funny like how people just walk off with the menu covers. You got one for Mama Melrose right there. It's gone now. So if you're a fan of Mama Melrose, you can pick up that. Or the Edison. Got the old e-tickets, so if there's a favorite ride that you like from Disneyland. These are always fun to display in like an office or something. Altered oldies. They drew Peter Pan on this old photo. Trader Sam's cast member costume, $400. Like these vintage Count Dracula and Frankenstein decorations. Nickelodeon Studios from Universal Studios production department, Universal Studios Florida. It's like the kids sweatshirt. Did you miss out on the family size Grogu cereal? They got it here for $15. Only $8. I got this vintage ET necklace. This little doll is possessed and she's like levitating. What is going on with this doll? This thing is creeping me out. Have a Willie Nelson. Merry Christmas. Okay, welcome back to the park. Hope you enjoyed our little antique haul. I want to switch it up a little bit because not every day there's like big updates happening within the park, so I want to add some variety to the updates so it's not too repetitive for you guys. Okay, so now let's go over the article talking about all the details about what's inside the house. So Game Rant released an article talking about the new house. Cybergoria revealed exclusive details of Halloween Horror Nights, Orlando's sci-fi house. It's the most wonderful time of the year if you're a Halloween obsessive like me. Halloween Horror Nights Orlando is roughly 2 months away, and that means Universal Orlando is starting to peel back the curtain on the event's 35th iteration. 5 HHN houses have been revealed thus far, and today Universal Orlando revealed a 6th, dubbed Cybergoria. This original house features a sci-fi concept that offers a little something different than the usual spooky mansion or decrepit graveyard. It imagines a future where humans sought out immortality but ended up suffering at the hands of their robot caretakers. What is the story behind Cybergoria? I talked to one of HHN's show directors and Cybergoria's creator, Matthew Flood, about the new Halloween Horror Nights house, including its storyline, design, and some teases about what types of scares guests can expect. We even get a little nerdy and discuss what goes into creating an HHN house, from the collaboration element that helps bring each to life to the thought process behind their layout. If you're an HHN fan like me, there's a lot of interesting bits. Although you might not need to know the story behind a house to appreciate it, each one has a fleshed out narrative driving its design. In Cybergoria's case, the story involves a corporation called Immortal Bionic Intelligence System that sought to offer its customers immortality Of course, the dream of immortality requires some technological advancements, so Bio-Immortal put its customers through a cryo-freeze process to preserve them until the tech caught up with the rest of the world. As these things typically go, Bio-Immortal offers both a standard and a cost-effective option, with the cost-effective version putting humans in freezer bags while they sleep/wait. Unfortunately, Bio-Immortal could never deliver on its promise, but its intelligent facility tried to make do with its resources. That means combining human parts with robot parts to try to keep the living tissue going. It's going to get pretty gross. What to expect from HHN's Cybergoria house? For guests of Cybergoria, the house will take you through the freezing process into the disturbing future where man and machine have melded, and even outside the facility to see what's become of the world. I won't spoil it, but there's a lot more going on than you might think. Cybergoria represents something a little different for Halloween Horror Nights, a futuristic sci-fi take on a horror concept. When I asked Flood what this particular house offers the team that they haven't done before, he shared a lot of interesting details that went into the design of Cybergoria. This one is so exciting for a couple of reasons. I talked about the facility being really fully integrated and kind of alive. Our team is getting better and better, and the amount of integration of audio, lights, and how the characters are being presented is at a next level. It's extremely exciting to see how you can bring an entire room to life. So everything is structured in a way that heightens the scares exponentially more than we've done in a lot of our stuff. I'm speaking in general, but if you walk through our Insidious house a couple years back, it was received as a scary house, and we're applying the same kind of thinking to this one. It becomes both a very unsettling house from the subject matter, but then also really aggressive and highly integrated. With any house at HHN, or even the scare zones, the goal is to offer guests a scary experience. It's right there in the name. But for Flood and the team, they want to do more than just create the scariest house of the night. They want people to feel connected to the events that are happening, which means integrating storytelling through the house and even the queue. He even acknowledges that houses can be very soundbite driven, something he calls a secret to the trade, where you tease what is going to happen later in the house, which makes it more intimidating for average guests. Even so, there will be limits to how far the creators are willing to go despite promising gore. A haunted house is supposed to be scary in that I went through that. I loved getting scared. It was awesome way. And yeah, we use gore because it throws you off a little bit. And yes, we use all sorts of cool lighting techniques and audio techniques, but the goal is to make a cool event that people want to come back to over and over and over again. When they walk out, they're high-fiving their friends because they made it through, and they're like, oh my gosh, you screamed so much. That was awesome. I think that if we were ever to try really hard to make some massive, go so far as it really causes things to be shocking in a unsettling, upsetting way, that maybe we need to look at it again. After 34 years of Halloween Horror Nights, you would think that the creators would lock in what works and not deviate too far from that. But Flood tells me that they're always learning from what they've done and how to position things to do even better. I think that's what HHN does well as a whole. The team that leads this just wants to make the coolest event ever. We do it every year with this strong desire to see how we can make the coolest thing. It's never about the person who's directing it, because I can tell you, I have so little to do in the grand scheme of things, of how great stuff is. My role and all of our roles end up being how well we can collaborate to make sure all of our brains line up and create something amazing, because that's when you get the truly magical type of experience. When asked about what techniques guests can expect to see in Cybergoria, he called out two details. One is a set of well-designed mirror elements that he says enhance the space in a way that becomes both confusing and large. In addition, there's a character that, well, it's a small element throughout the house, Flood is curious to see if guests latch onto, and he thinks will be a cool extra element. What is it like to design a Halloween Horror Nights house? Flood and I got pretty nerdy about constructing the houses in HHN, from the use of sharp angles to hide the next scare, to how lighting plays a role in Cybergoria's design. I don't want to share too many of the magician's secrets, but I will say this house sounds like something special, and something that Universal Orlando has not done in quite some time. During my chat with Flood, You could tell he is passionate about HHN and values collaboration with his team. You don't realize what type of monumental challenge this event is until you consider how quickly the team needs to move on to next year's event. But Flood says that everything is worth it in the end. I will say it again and again. It's an impossible event. The only thing that makes it work is a magical recipe of everyone trusting each other. And when I work with someone and they're going to their computer, sit down and knock out their piece of it, I know how they work. I've worked with them for dozens of years, so has everyone else on my team. We've been doing this for so long that it's the only reason we're able to accomplish what we do is because there's so much trust and collaboration that has been built up. Even when someone new comes in, we just have to say, listen, you're coming into the flow. This is going to happen, and it's going to feel like it's coming too fast, but let's just keep going. I don't think it could be done in any other way. The timelines are going, and you know that you have to do it. And thankfully, we get to smile the whole way, even if it's a few sleepless nights here and there. HHN 35's haunted house lineup so far. Alongside Cybergoria, Universal Orlando has already revealed several other houses, 2 themed around popular IPs and 3 original houses, as expected. The runaway hit from 2025, Sinners, will get its own house for Halloween Horror Nights 2026, as will Stranger Things, in celebration of its final season. Sinners is a slam dunk choice for HHN, and the house is said to welcome guests into a vampire-infested juke joint. Stranger Things, on the other hand, has been part of HHN before, but it seems only fitting that Universal Orlando gives the property one final send-off. On the original house side, the 3 revealed houses are Jack and Oddfellow, Chaos and Control, Madlands, Caged Cannibals, and HR Blood and Guts presents a Halloween Fright-tacular. 2 of the houses bring back popular HHN icons, Jack the Clown and Oddfellow for one, and HR Blood and Guts for the other, and give guests a chance to catch up on some of their favorite event characters. Madlands, on the other hand, promises one of the bloodiest houses of the year. We saw that truss pop up yesterday, but nothing's been added to it. And then nothing new with these lights, so it just looks like the 2 trusses that popped up right over there, that's the only bit of new details that popped up today. It is time to return to the office and the salvation of AC. Okay guys, we're back in the office. It's really late at night right now, so that's why there's really no light. I'm gonna get some rest because we got another HHN update dropping tomorrow because we're gonna have another original house announced. But on that note, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button. If you have not already, hit the subscribe button and join the family.
We love the family!
Because I'm gonna keep you up to date on all things Universal Studios and Halloween Horror Nights around the country. I love you all. I'll see y'all very soon. Raw metal. And the salvation of Hooterade?